Hello, folks. My name is Yong John, a business consultant from Korea, and I'm working for Revision Consulting, which I lead to give some service on business analytics and machine learning strategy for business guys. Today we're going to talk about analytics, big data, and AI. Yeah, so famous and popular these days, AI and machine learning. But most of the presentation here is focused on the business cases, the values to the business, and the considerations to get the most out of it. Let's just very briefly check the overall structure from big data to analytics and the resulting values. Basically, big data is a raw material or source, and the role of analytics is the process to make the data useful and valuable and insightful to run the business. And in the boundary of analytics, there are a couple of different sort of analytical approaches. One is so-called artificial intelligence, and some part of it is machine learning. But in this picture, if you're a business guy, then you got to think about what would you analyze? That is a very critical, crucial question. And what kind of data would you use, and what technology? Let's check a sample enterprise level machine learning system that uses all those data from external databases like social media and open data, and some internal database that comes from all those different databases in the business. And here's the section in the middle of the entire picture: the modeling database and the modeling building system, and then prediction model, prediction operation system. After we build a model, then we have to use that. So we need a model operation system, and model operation database is a must too. And after getting all those results from the predictive analytics, then we have to share the insights and the scores or something like that to the front end. So we need the connection between the modeling system and model operation system and the front end. So something like web page, or these days mobile apps, whatever, storefront, whatever, the front end system. Yeah, this is the overall picture of an enterprise sample machine learning system or big data analytics system. Let's just check the 2 points. There are lots of multiple different data sources are here, so we need integration. Integration is the must and most critical, and a lot of variety of systems and the components, different components work together. That was just in architecture. There's nothing about the business value itself. So let's just check some cases. The first one is hiring the right person. This case is from Catalyst IT Services. It's an IT outsourcing company, so they have to hire so many new employees annually, and there was some bad things, some weakness in their recruiting process. In the past, the process itself was quite slow and subjective, depending on the managers, and low job employee match. Because of that, the company developed a model for objectively select the candidates. There was an online evaluation That evaluation, in that evaluation, is just online. They ask some very hard question to solve for that all those candidates, potential candidates or candidates, whatever. Um, in the evaluation, the math problem that could not be solved, possibly nobody will solve. That kind of unrealistic and irrational evaluation question is for the candidates. Then, what will happen? The candidates, some of them, at least some of them, will just leave while they facing that silly questions. But some of the other guys, oh, they will keep working on it even when they can. They know themselves. They don't understand. They can even understand and solve, and they can extract that right solution, but right answer. But the correctness, correct or not, is not that important for the company. The company only wants to get the data from their behavior while they are facing that kind of so-called hard and difficult situations. They are focusing on how instead of what candidates answer. Collecting data on attitude and behavior, then they can easily analyze and assess job and employee fitness. Within this kind of new, sort of brilliant new process, they could get good business success. They could make they could reach the half of annual turnover rate compared to others in the same industry. That means what? That means the money. What do you want from big data and analytics? What you want is just the money. So, Catalyst IT services, the company smartly used all those big data and even created a new database, and then they utilize it, and finally, they end up with good business results. Isn't this cool? Let's check another case. What kind of insights should be created from an analysis? One day, I met a client. They are a sort of multi-channel retailer, and they run online shopping site, shopping mall, and they one of the major item of their popularly sold item was jeans. But while we're talking about the new project, potential project, the guy in the marketing department told me that you have to be serious about this project. You have to keep working on it very sincerely and seriously and working hard. You are not supposed to make any mistakes, right? Just like recommending another pair of jeans when a customer already bought in the same category. I mean, jeans just yesterday. It could be silly. Customer will wrap at. So you don't make that kind of silly, stupid, pumpkin-like mistakes. When I heard about it, that advice or sort of warning, I could realize that. Oh, this guy is quite tough. Wow, it'll be a very hard job to finish. But at the same time, I could get that. There's something strange, something wrong, probably or possibly, huh? So we need to investigate the data, assess the data to prove his saying is true, correct, or not. his example was quite simple, but a little bit of common sense, but not sure. This is the business, a single specific business. So a general knowledge have no motivation to hold in this case. So we got to analyze the data. We inspected actually. In the company, the website, most of the customers buy blue jeans many times. So on average, 2 times in a year. What does that mean? Consecutive, or very close consecutive purchases are very common. And no difference between the ratio of customers who buy blue jeans in both of the consecutive, for example, January and February months, and ratio of customers who buy blue jeans this month when they did not buy one in the previous month. What does this mean? That guy, the marketing guy, was correct and right? Especially the female customer group, they showed higher rate of consecutive purchases. Then what is it? What does this mean? At least for some categories, there is just no reason for avoiding to recommend an item just because of recent purchases of the same item. This is something new. If you know everything about the business, then you can't even find anything. Thus, we have to find something new that has the value. Another case is about Korean retail company, which is actually a convenience store. The company analyzed their data, all their very big, huge, tremendous database, combining item to item connection and association, and then they happened to find that the 2 items, one is the ramen, instant ramen, and one is chip. It's sweet chips, very popular. Both of the items are very popular. Then what could we do? What do you think? What could we do from this pattern from the database? We analyzed a lot and then found this interesting, so-called interesting pattern. But what would you do with that pattern? They eventually find an idea. They got an idea of making a new product: kimchi stew, instant ramen, and swing chip. If you combine these 2, you can make what? A kimchi stew taste chip. Do you like it? Would you like it? But actually, they launched the product, and in the first month, they sold more than 100,000 of items. It was a big success. We can use the data in many different ways, and in that process, we have to think about the comparison, combination. To make some ideas, we have to imagine, and we have to experiment. Anyway, what if their solution, the new product idea, was the opposite? It's not stew taste, kimchi taste, swing chip. The swing chip taste, snack taste, kimchi ramen. What do you think? You like it? Depending on you and depending on the market. Okay? Another CVS retailer case is, convenience store case is, famous Korean food industry star, so-called celeb. One day, a Korean retailer launched a new product with brand new branding. It was a Paik's lunch pack. Actually, he is very famous guy in Korea these days. And after launching, and just because they launched a very hot new product, so product line actually, so they started to monitor what is going on about that new product on the net by consumers. They track the mentions of social feedback. Uh, it's obvious that the product got a lot of feedback from the market, as you see in the chart, but they found another unexpected pattern too. Actually, there was a very small portion of spaghetti in the side dish, as a side dish, in the whole lunch pack. It was just for 4% in total weight, but mentioned a lot, quite a lot. 71%, more than 70% of buzz on that lunch pack mentioned positively mostly that cream pasta, garlic cream pasta. Thus, they launched that garlic cream pasta as a single independent item. Yeah, this is what we want to use the data, big data, for business results. However, we need the right data. Okay, we don't have the right data. We can make a good insight, discover good insight from the data using whatever the algorithms. You remember the Google's case, Google's prediction of flu, predicted 11% of infection, but actual was completely different. It was just half. Thus, what happened after that? Google's failure of predicting infection, flu infection, they get rid of the service. They stopped their service. You know what? Why? And why? There are issues in not about volume, not in the issue of volume. The main issue, core issue was quality and relevance and bias. You know, most of the guys use smartphone and searching Google. They are mostly adult and young guys, no kids or no babies, and very old seniors. Yeah, they don't usually use that. And think about it. You search flu on Google in Google, but do you think you always search when you definitely have flu? No way. When we are suspicious about whether I have flu or not, then you search. So the data from Google, the data only Google can collect is quite biased. And another sort of issue is, another dimension is data issues and timeliness. If it's not on time, then it is useless. For example, an election should provide very timely information. If it's giving some information about very old days, then it does not mean anything and useless, and sometimes make mistakes to the voters. Another case is it could be silly, but these days most of the Korean youngsters hesitate to get married. This is partly because of the economic situations these days in Korea. So no wedding is the slogan of the youngsters in these days in Korea. If that is the fact, then what is going on in the search process, search results, statistics of from the most popular Korean search engine. Take a look at the chart. The pink lines are that shows the statistics amount of searching on the keyword wedding, marriage, and the blue is honeymoon. As you see, wedding is keep going on, going on, but that doesn't make sense. No wedding, but I'm searching for wedding. I'm not thinking about wedding. I'm not going to go to get married, but I search for wedding on the net. Is this rational? That was silly, huh? Thus, I checked the spikes here and spike here. The two spikes, you can easily find the two spikes, huh? One spike, the first spike in 2007 or 2008, that was a very famous Korean comedian. His name is Yoo Jae-seok. His marriage. Then what would you feel? What would you find? People search for wedding on the net. They want that content. But that means they want to check some celebrities, some sort of affairs or something, some news. That does not actually mean the customers or the audience, the searchers are willing to get married. You know, what is important? The most important thing is selecting the right question, the right keyword. If you don't put in the right keyword, then you can't even find the good results from the data. The green line is honeymoon. As you see, honeymoon is very slightly, it's just decreasing. It's very slight, but it doesn't go up. That is an evidence. We got a lot of myth on AI and machine learning, which is used to analyze customer or whatever the data in the business. The first myth is AI can be applied to any kind of task. Silly, huh? AI is consistent, always right, and no bias, nearly 100% accurate, and AI without any fear. They run themselves and automatically evolve every time without any human intervention, no maintenance required. These are unrealistic, too much expectations, right? And just input more data, then AI will actually work, just work. Huh? It's silly. And some other points to remember. AI is not machine learning because it's a subset of machine learning is just a subset of AI, and deep learning also is a subset of machine learning. There is a hierarchy in terms of that concept, but it's not the same thing. Huh? There are other machine learning technology or methodology for analysis other than deep learning, and this AI also has non-machine learning approaches. We have another misunderstanding. These are misunderstanding, and another misunderstanding is machine learning does not. They are different. Machine learning and deep learning, those two are different. It also is a very common, very common misunderstanding. And especially in business, many guys believe that gigantic investment is the must for AI adoption for the business. It depends on the plan, but it's not always true. Okay, this kind of misunderstanding and myths makes AI very difficult and unsuccessful to most of the business. Let's imagine that so famous AlphaGo of the Google DeepMind in business, for business. Huh? If you have something like AlphaGo for to solve your business problem, then it'll be cool, huh? But let's just think about seriously about applying AlphaGo to planning your marketing. It's not that simple. Revenue or profit? What should be the goal? Do you have to defense competitors to attack, or long-term growth is our goal? What kind of goal, what kind of direction, what kind of choice, all those things are in real-world marketing planning. So it's not different. It's very completely different from the toy game like Go. Most business problems are not convertible to a simple game format. All those participants are not limited to just two. Right? No obvious rules are in there. And even the rules can change over time. It's pretty difficult to evaluate results from business decision using simple win or lose kind of scale. A myriad of variables involved. All these things because of all those things, difficulty in implementing AI for business is far beyond your imaginations. There's another silly understanding, diminishing gain of marginal data volume. Most of the guys do not understand what does this mean. For example, let's check the very famous figure of prepared by Andrew Ng. He's a celeb in the machine learning scene. The curve keep going up if you use deep learning. The amount of data and performance is a little bit of a linear-like relationship. Keep going up. If you got more data, you can get better performance. Compared to other older algorithms, deep learning is this good. Huh? So you just check deep learning and learn deep learning. It could be very simple and attractive if you believe this, huh? But have you ever think about this seriously? You know what? Most of especially in business situations, business settings, competitive advantage is not the ultimate 100% accuracy. It depends on the case, but the threshold, the competitive advantage is not the end of the thousands of billions of data and 100%, 0.00001 misclassification. It's an academic story, huh? More data correlates model performance. Wow, cool. DNN's key advantage, cool. But in the real world, a data-rich company does not swallow the entire whole market. Why? There is a threshold of competitive advantage. The gain of margin from marginal data volume, it diminishes. Let's check a broader and long-term high-level picture. This is a long-term economic impact. This is on that thing. Actually, this is made. I remember that it was the last year, 2018, prepared by. The simulation is by McKinsey research or something. Based on their analysis and the simulation, still it's 2019 is still gross impact is more than zero. Over zero is plus positive, but we got a lot of cost, huge amount of cost. So to introduce and learn and implement AI, we don't enjoy actually net impact. The break even will be based on their forecast. It's a simulation, but anyway, 22 is the break even point. Then, till then, overall, on average, in the market, we have to keep investing without any net gain. Isn't this shocking? Actually, it's right. If you set up something, then you can get something more efficiently. But takes a while to get and enjoy the net impact. It's a timeline, huh? Economic impact will go over a long period of time, gradually and continuously. But there are costs. 5 AI types are there, and one is advanced machine learning, and other things are vision and natural language processing, virtual assistants, RPA, and those are the 5. There are the most crucial thing to remember the planner of a planner in business to think about artificial intelligence and machine learning, advanced analytics, is transition costs and also the negative externalities. Okay. Here's the picture. Yeah, I got to know every year, once in a year, they release this kind of hype cycle thing. And AI this year, 2019 version, shows that a little bit, it was shocking to me. Natural language processing, yeah, many guys are starting, learning, and try to implement that, but it's pretty difficult. So it'll take some time to fully utilize, enjoy natural language processing. And in case of auto machine learning, it'll take some time too. We have to make business without spending too much money. I mean investment to keep growing and get some business real actual result. We have to check what kind of technology should be used at this moment, and in the long term, what kind of technologies. Thus, we have to check the technology forecast and the trends. To avoid failure of AI and machine learning deployment, we have many considerations. Here are some. Jeremy Barnes from Chip Element AI, which is a new AI consulting and implementation research company in Canada. I remember that it's in Canada. And the 3 points are very important while deploying the advanced machine learning or artificial intelligence. Start with the problem which has enough potential to change your market. Then this means that you have to choose a little bit of big one. And the next one is the focus on augmentation, not automation. And the final one is you have to make your staffs who have specialty in both. It's not one of the two, just both AI and your business domain ready. You need a step that is pretty important. Then what would you analyze? How would you choose what to analyze? Huh? It's pretty hard to find some articles or something, some material on this topic. Actually, this is my ideas, a sample methodology to discover the analysis topics. Conceptual definition of what you want to find from data analysis. First, you have to list up things to define. Huh? and then you use your general business language, general language to describe in detail and sketch all important candidate assumptions. And then in the sketch, your definition of assumptions could be related to a single model. In other words, a model may assess many assumptions at the same time, at a single time. Both importance in business, one thing, and the essentialness of assessment based on there are very crucial. Formulate assumptions after defining subject first, and then you formulate assumptions. Okay, subject first, you scoping down the area to define assumptions, and then you formulate assumptions. Okay, this should be the sequence, or you'll be trying very hard and you have to take a lot of loss while defining the assumptions. Here are a couple of actually many checkpoints for your analytics and data opportunities. Complexity of the problem is very important. Arising massive data in terms of volume and feature variety, then it's not that easy to start in the beginning of your adoption. Okay, so complexity is very important. If it's not affordable within the people in the organization and using the budget, limited budget, always budget is limited, so that could make a lot of issues to your business. And appropriate for repetitive and continued analysis in the same format. If the characteristic of the problem is not in this, it'll make some issues too. Continued and stable data supply is possible. Oh, you got to check this. Huh? A value to solve of the problem is some points. An analytical problem gives you some values is when the problem is crucial enough in accordance with your organization's mission. If it's not that related to your mission, then it will give you very little benefits. If there's no similar use cases, you got no benchmark and you got nothing to follow. It could be a risk. Similar analysis cases have good reputations, then it's easy to mimic. Oh, it's a good chance, okay? And as another is as a sort of pathfinder. It could be the new project or new data analysis could be expected to affect other analysis, provoke other analysis problems possibly. That could be a good question to ask. Thank you. My name is Yong, and if you like, you just keep checking over and over and get the nuance and my advice. And if you have any question, send me email. Okay, thank you, bye.